Hi, my name is Ron Lehman. I'm from the Faux School where I teach decorative painting workshops and complete commission projects for clients all around the world. Today I'm going to show you a technique using Luminoso, which is a Marmorino dry mix material, but the factory adds all this beautiful flake and dust particles that are metallic into the finish. We call it Luminoso. I'm going to show you how to do it in this fun block pattern. So let's get our tools, let's get our materials, and let's get started. The first thing I've done to get ready for today's technique is I base coated the surface using the quartz primer. Quartz primer is an interior-exterior soap and water cleanup base coat for lime base plasters. It's proprietary. If you don't use it, there's a good chance that the lime plaster is going to lose its adhesion due to the high pH content of the lime. It will have an adverse reaction to the regular latex and oil-based primers that we use here in the States, and it could very well pop off the wall due to delamination. Quartz primer prevents that from happening. Tools. Pavan 844i and a spatula. This is a 4-inch. The material that we're going to do first, we're going to lay down a base coat, a bed coat, okay? That's going to be our Marmorino Antico. Marmorino Antico is a wet mix product, meaning it comes ready mixed. You don't have to add any water to it. You open the bucket, put it right on the wall. It's a 300 micron. That's a really nice Marmorino. It's very traditional style. So Marmorino is an interior-exterior product, tints with oxide pigments only, never paint, never universal colors, nothing. Oxide pigments only. And that is because the lime in here can have adverse reactions to other pigments and materials and cause the color to break down, causing the product to fail. So we've rolled on our quartz base coat. We have our Marmorino. We're going to use it right out of the bucket. No pigment, just straight out of the pail with our 844 and our spatula. So I'm going to bend over here and grab a little bit. Right out of the bucket. All right, I'm going to use quite a bit for this. I just want to get it on the surface. I'm not really worried about a specific pattern or technique or anything. This is just going to even out and become our mortar for this effect, meaning we're going to create the look of blocks using Luminoso. But I use the Marmorino as my base, and somebody said, why not just use Luminoso? Well, one, you're not going to see it. Two, it's a kind of a waste of the product because Luminoso is made for being the top coat, the decorative top coat. So this is going to be our mortar. You're only going to see maybe like, I don't know, I'd say 3%. I'm sure somebody's going to calculate it and say that I'm probably off by about 2%. Meaning you're just going to see the mortar joints. So I'm just going to use the Marmorino, cover it, work it out. Don't want a lot of trowel marks. We don't want it sloppy, but we don't need, oops. Oops. All right, just keep troweling this down. So we're just going to put it on kind of thick. That's about 1/16 of an inch probably, 100% coverage. It's a little busy, just going to even it out for that nice look of mortar. Okay, that's step one. So we're going to let this dry 100%, come back, and then we'll show you the next part of the process. See you in a bit. Okay, Marmorino is completely dry. We're ready to move on. What we're going to do is take our square. We're going to make some 10-inch blocks. And I got my glasses on so I can see the markings on the rule. Almost got crooked there. So the water was going to be slightly off. Hey, got it? Good. All right, where are we at? Way off on the bottom. It'll be cool. It'll work out. All right, then vertically, let's go like this. We'll keep it simple. Let's see here. Oh, what is that? The odds of me doing that again are quite impossible. 10 and 10, just like that. Okay. There's our layouts. Our outline. We're going to take our 1/4-inch tape and put it on here. I'm going to put it just below the pencil line. That way when I plaster over it with the Luminoso, you won't see the pencil marks. Okay. Ooh. Get on there. There we go. All right, there we go. We have our layout. So everywhere the green tape exists, that will be the exposed mortar. So now let's get the Luminoso and move on. See you in a minute. Okay, the grid's laid out for our block wall. Time to mix the Luminoso. Luminoso is a powdered mix. I'm sorry, dry mix. Powder mix, dry mix, same thing. Meaning you have to add distilled water to get it to the consistency that you prefer. Typically, I like it along the sides of a nice creamy peanut butter. Okay, so Luminoso, interior, exterior, tints with oxide pigments only, never paint, never universal colorants. Interior, soap and water cleanup, interior, exterior. You can use it on floors. I'll have a video coming up about that later, but you have to use a special top coat that we have had made specifically to make sure that it could be used on floors. And it goes over top of quartz primer, but in this case, we're going to go over top of the Marmorino. That's going to be our mortar joints. Luminoso is going to be the decorative part of it. Now, let's mix this. All right, let's take the Luminoso and let's put it in here. Now, this is a 2 foot by 4 foot board, and I know it's going to take 2 quarts to cover that surface. 1 quart will not be enough. 2 quarts is going to be too much, but we need to make it's the old thing. Better to have enough than not at all. All right, time. This is the mixer we're going to use. See, this has no fins on it. Okay, meaning no fins, nothing to cut the sides of the pail. Now, put it in there, just kind of move it around a little bit, get it a little loose. Let's add a little bit of water as we go. Too much water. See how fast that can change on you? What happens if you get it too thin? You add more powder. You want to stir this for about 15 minutes to make sure, one, it's the consistency that you want. Two, to make sure that you break up all the particles and it's nice and smooth and creamy and there's no clumps of luminoso powder in your mix. So when you hit the wall, it explodes. You want to make sure it's all hydrated. A little more powder. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, we have our Pavan 844i and our spatula, 4-inch spatula. Check your tape. You can burnish it down a little bit if you want. Burnishing, making sure just getting it down to the surface so it doesn't move on us like that one did. Trowel. I'm right-handed, right? Let's do this if you're looking over my shoulder. If I'm right-handed, I take my trowel. I bring it towards me. I'll put the product here, like so. And let's get it on the surface. Now, we're not going to pull this tight like we would any other product. And let me show you down here why. Remember, this has big pieces of material in it. We don't want to smash the mica flake or the mica particles powder. So what happens if we try to work? See how it's scratching and leaving big scratch marks here and there? Don't worry about it. It's kind of like, I always say it's like putting icing on a cake. Sometimes we put the icing on, most times we put it on kind of to get it on, and then we'll let it come back and manipulate it, make it look pretty at the end. But what we do is just lightly, same thing, put it on, float, float. We don't want the scratch marks to be visible. I mean, we don't want any scratch marks. Okay, so see how they start to go away? I'm just lightly going over. If I get one here, I'm just gonna go that way, come at it from a different angle, and try to float it away. We're going to cover the whole board. So we're going to let it set, firm up, and then I'm going to come back and show you how to make it drop dead gorgeous. We are ready to start moving on. So this is set for probably about 30 minutes. No fans blowing air across it. No heat gun trying to push it or anything. Just letting it sit on its own, just like you would in a room. I'm going to take my trowel and I'm going to use it backwards. All right? So what we're going to do is we're going to place the trowel like so, but we're going to pull it backwards, shaving off the top layer. It's going to be messy, meaning because it's going to fall onto the drop cloth that I have on the floor. So what it's doing is it's going to expose all the pieces that are below, and we're going to give the surface a nice, even profile. So the stuff that's on the top, it's not necessarily into the finish, meaning it's not completely embedded. It's just laying, but when we shave it a little bit, I think we can go a little. This way, there's no sanding required. Okay, and now we're gonna let it dry a little longer because it's damp. I want to compress it, and that's going to give us the look of polished stone. So I will see you just a little bit. All right, so it's set for about another 10 to 15 minutes. And we're going to go and just burnish like we typically do. And what this does is going to close the plaster up. So let's see if you can see this. It's porous right here, okay? Because we just took the trowel and scraped it up. We opened up the surface. Now we want to close it. And all we're going to do is take our trowel on the edge. See that angle? And just go over it with a little pressure. So now we're making sure that all these particulates are definitely inside the surface of the plaster. They're not going to go anywhere. We're going to flatten out our plaster. You're not going to see a ton of movement in it, because this is not that type of material, meaning you're not going to have the movement of like a grisello. This is its own unique material. I'm going to come different directions because we want the trowel to catch it from all angles. Okay, I'm going to continue to do this for a little bit. You can watch if you want. I'd say speed forward and you'll see it at the end. All right, we're set up. Still soft, not completely dry. And as you can start to see, the lines are coming through, which helps. Now, if you wait for this to get completely dry, you're going to have a tough time pulling this tape off, just because it's buried under a lot of hard plaster. And when we pull it off at this state, it doesn't become airborne dust. See how it's peeling off on me? Breaking here and there. This was a good tape. All right, let's go here. Ooh, don't pull it too hard. All right. Dang it. See, it broke and it's not hard yet. I almost feel like I got double layer of tape on there as well. Something doesn't seem quite right. All right, so let's get in here and get these pieces out. back to this crunchy stuff here. Let's just take our finger and ever so slightly, we'll knock off the pieces, and it gives it a little rounded over the edge. Rounds over that edge a little bit. So what it does is kind of gives it that old look. It's been there for a minute. The elements have weathered it down. There we go. All right. And that's it. We let it dry. And we'll come back and show you how to seal it. I'll see you in just a bit. Okay, so we're dry overnight, and we're going to seal this. So this is suitable for interior, exterior, bathrooms, floors, but you have to seal it. Meaning it'll stand up to water, but it won't stand up to stains. And depending on where you live, you may have hard water, which could stain it as well. If it's in a restaurant, oils, grease, anything will stain these surfaces. So we're going to seal it. And what we're going to use is our Pavan Masse. This is, look how silky and creamy this is. See that? Pavan Masse, French soap. For this, I'm going to put it over the brush, just because I have some deeper areas where the mortar is located. I just want to make sure I'm completely sealed up. Why not wax? I don't like the way wax. Look, I think I lacrosse on my brain. Springtime. Gosh, I don't like the way the wax looks on the surface. It lays on the surface, doesn't really penetrate in. So this is basically just like a Marmorino with the 300 micron, meaning that's the size of all the material in it. Or nothing's, yeah. All right. It's just massaging it in. Could you use a rag? Sure, I guess you could. Brush is quicker. And this will penetrate in to the material. It soaks in, doesn't lay on the surface like a wax. And wax is just too shiny for this application. You could also use the impregnating sealer, which is a permanent sealer. So if you're putting on a wall in a commercial space, you don't have to worry about coming back or the soap getting damaged. You can just seal it with the impregnating sealer. It's permanent, water-based. You don't know what's on there. Doesn't change the color, doesn't change the sheen. Just massaging it in. Okay, so now our Pavan Masse is dry. We're ready to polish. I'm going to go in here with my car buffer and a sheepskin pad. I'm going to put it about 300 RPM and polish it out. Now, can you see the difference between the shine? It's very subtle. It's not super shiny like a wax will get. It's a soft, warm, glowing luster. Very pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and finish out the whole piece. Okay, so we are finished polishing, and it has the beautiful warm gloss. I should say luster, not gloss, I apologize. But what it does is it richens everything up a little bit. It's coming at you now. It's got some depth and some dimension to it. It enhances that. And you can see all the beautiful gold popping. Everything's just coming to life now. All right, so you're protected and it's in good shape. All right, so I will put links to the tools and the materials down below in the description area of this video, along with everything else you can need to recreate this technique as you saw it here today. So my name is Ron Lehman. I'm from the Faux School, where I teach decorative painting workshops and complete commission projects for clients all around the world. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.